Governor Greg Abbott and state legislatures have fought for years over passing a school voucher program that would use taxpayer money to help families send their children to private schools.
But State Representative Ken King says this week at the Texas Tribune Festival that the fight is over and that the state will almost certainly pass a voucher program next year.
Jeremy Poitnoy from OpenTheBooks.com is following this story and joins us now. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, Allison and John Carlos.
Jeremy, how much money is Texas expected to spend on these school vouchers?
Well, when Governor Abbott tried to pass the program last year, the legislature estimated it was going to cost $2 billion per year. Florida is the only state spending that much on vouchers. Now, the reason it's going to be so expensive is because Abbott wants a universal voucher program. So usually vouchers are targeted at specific groups, maybe to help low-income families send their kids to private school, maybe kids that have special education needs. Abbott wants universal vouchers open to everybody. And he's got support for it. There's a new poll from the University of Houston that shows 65% of people in Texas support that.
Jeremy, what decisions have other states made recently on these school vouchers?
So across the country since 2019, spending on vouchers has actually doubled. So 2 years ago, Arizona passed universal vouchers. They were the first state to do it. Since then, there's 11 other states that have passed it, and there's 16 more that are discussing it. But what happens is these vouchers are open to everybody, so it's hard to predict how much money it's going to cost and how many people are going to sign up. So a lot of states have ended up overspending what their estimates were.
Can you give us some examples where states have spent more than they estimated on these vouchers?
Arizona is probably the biggest one. Their vouchers, they were only supposed to cost $65 million, but so many people signed up, they spent $332 million, and it's only going to go up this year. CNN reported they were spending vouchers on Disney Plus subscriptions, trips to SeaWorld, some silly expenses like that. Then over in Iowa, they started their own universal voucher program. 2/3 of the people that signed up already had their kids in private school. So it made those schools more affordable, but didn't change the quality of education for everyone that signed up.
Jeremy, how does this apply to Austin? What sort of impact could we see here?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to predict. I mean, Abbott said on social media a few months ago that in almost every state with universal vouchers, public school funding is actually increased. And he says he's not going to use any public school funds for vouchers. But really, it's not that simple. I mean, in Texas, the schools get funding based on how many students they have. So if kids start leaving Austin ISD private school, that means less funding for Austin ISD, and it leaves more money open to recapture. The state's going to say Austin ISD has more money than it needs because there's less students there. So already 60% of your school property taxes don't go to Austin. That could increase with school vouchers.
Austin ISD has been struggling for a lot of years. Well, thank you so much for this information, Jeremy.
Thank you.
And we're going to be talking about this for a while. You can find all of these reports at OpenTheBooks.com.